not a good day for me. You could say perhaps I bombed on stage doing this comedy bit. I did choose to be an anti-environmentalist character at a vegan restaurant, which may not have been the best choice. And I had only thought of this routine as I was driving down Interstate 81 from Winchester. So I had about an hour to think it up and to do it. But anyhow, here goes. I'm going to try to remember it just about the way I gave it 2 days ago, and then I'll get a chance to look at it and see what I think. Would I have laughed or not? Thank you very much. Really love being here at the Little Grill. I mean, I realize there's an environmental bent to just about everything you do. You have the vegan dishes. I come here and get coffee. I love the coffee with the soy milk. I mean, I'm just thinking the more soy milk people drink, the less milk will be consumed. Pretty soon the market will dry up for milk cows, and then we can turn them into beef cows and have a lot more meat for all of us, and that'll drop the price of meat, which I really love to eat. All right, well, I guess I really ought to start at the beginning of this true story. I was out in North Dakota. It's been a couple of months ago, a lot warmer then. I was driving that big old Ford pickup truck of mine, the 350. I tell you, boy, that thing does not get very good gas mileage at all. And I was really ticked off because North Dakota is such a big state, and there are gas stations, it seems like, nowhere. All right? And I mean, I gotta have a big truck. And I mean, let's just think about that. Sometimes you gotta run away from the law. Sometimes you gotta do some stuff that just takes a big truck. Like take, for example, last spring. It was a nice warm day. Decided to take my truck out in the woods, and I knew there'd be a lot of deer out. It wasn't hunting season or anything. And I parked off the road there, got out my assault rifle, and I'm walking around, let off a few bursts. Before I know it, I got 5 or 6 deer. I put them in the back of that pickup. It took it okay, but it sunk those tires down into the mud. Now, if I wouldn't have had any power to that truck, I would have been stuck there for an awful long time. I just put that baby in reverse, pulled on out. I started on down that road. Boy, that road was muddy. But I guess I can't believe these game wardens. I don't understand why they're just not out there during hunting season. What the hell is a game warden doing out when it ain't hunting season? Anyhow, I got this game warden on my tail, got antlers sticking up above the edge of the pickup truck bed. Pretty soon the blue lights come on. I think, what the hell am I going to do? Well, I knew what I was going to do. I headed for the nearest mud puddle I could, parked my car. As soon as he got up close, I put one foot on the brake, put the other in the gas, threw a bunch of mud back, covered his windshield up with mud. And I sped off, and he was after me for a while. And he did go off the road and stuff. It wasn't that big of an embankment, okay? I figured he was okay. So anyhow, I'm out in North Dakota. I'm driving around, I'm getting really pissed off. There's no gas stations around. And finally, I see this sign that kind of covered up by a tumbleweed. It says diesel. And I thought, that's diesel. It's got to be gas. So I pull off the road, go down this dirt road, and I'm thinking, what the hell am I doing out here? Why is a gas station down this little road? Well, it turns out it's some farmer out there, some kind of hippie dude. And he's making this biodiesel stuff. That's what he's got. He ain't got no gas. And I said, buddy, I got gas that I need for this truck. And he looks at my license plate. It's from Virginia. He says, this is sunflower seed biodiesel. You take this stuff back to the East Coast, you can sell it for 3 or 4 times what you pay for it here. And I'm thinking, yeah, right. And I says, are you sure, buddy? And he says, I'm sure. Well, that was good enough for me. So I put 4 55-gallon drums in the back of that thing with the help of this backhoe attachment on his tractor. Slammed the tailgate, and I eventually found a gas station. And skip forward, a couple days. I'm coming back east. I'm having myself a good time. I'm in Ohio, I think it is. I believe that's where they have those, and those guys that wear all black and drive the buggies around and stuff, Mennonites or the Amish or something. I mean, they really slowed me down. They're ahead of me in the road, with those buggies and stuff. And, you give them enough horn, they'll get out of the way, and, when I could, I passed them on the narrow roads, trying to nudge them over into the gully. What are they going to do? They don't curse, so I don't give a darn. They can't catch me. So I'm driving along there, and I'm figuring out, I'm just going to have a good time with myself here. So I, get in the glove box, reach out my little bag of Mr. Natural, and I'm driving the steering wheel like this with my elbows, and I got my rolling papers in my left hand. I got this here, and son of a gun, if one of these guys in the buggy doesn't pull right out of a driveway right in front of me, I slam on the brakes, I give him a good dose of horn, he goes skittering off into a cornfield on the left-hand side. I put my hand out, the left hand out, to give him the finger, and son of a gun, if my rolling paper doesn't blow out. Now, I tell you, there's one thing that I don't do, and I don't litter. Okay? I slammed that brake on, and what ended up happening, I don't know, but I ain't ever buying another Ford again, because that Ford spun around in that gravel, and that tailgate that I thought was so strong, they talk about the Ford trucks being like so tough and everything, it pops down. I got 4 barrels of my valuable biodiesel hitting the pavement, busting all over the place, making a heck of a mess, and I'm thinking, there goes my investment. I get out of the car and I'm thinking, what the hell am I going to do? I know I'm going to kick that Amish guy's ass. Son of a gun, the school must have just let out or something, because right behind me, there comes a whole flurry of these buggies coming down with like these mothers and these kids in them and everything. And I'm thinking, you should not be speeding in a buggy. But anyhow, they go, and these horses' hooves are slipping in his biodiesel, and they fall, and the buggies turn over, and the kids are crying, the moms are screaming. And I'm thinking, what the hell with this noise pollution, okay? I can see you're hurt. You all can see you're hurt. Why are you making so much noise? But anyhow, they're screaming and stuff like that. And then it's like something out of, I don't know, Apocalypse Now, or one of my favorite war movies. There's this big black thing that just kind of lifts out of the field to the left. And I'm thinking, what is this? It turns out it's a whole flock of cardinals. They must have smelled this sunflower seed oil. And they're coming down, and they're like diving, and they're putting their beaks in the pavement, and they're trying to get something, and their little wingtips are like all covered with oil, and they're walking around like this, and they're all black, and their beaks and everything. And then, of course, you got this crap going on. You get a bunch of gawkers. And you got all these Amish guys with these whiskers and everything, and these hats, and they're walking, and they're all standing around, and they ain't doing nothing. They're who do you think we do? What do we should do? They're all, and the Amish are always talking about the evils of drinking. But let me tell you, they ought to think about the evils of smoking. Because, there was this one older guy there. He's got this pipe, and, he shouldn't have been standing so close. I think he got overcome by the fumes, and next thing I know, he's toppling forward, that pipe goes out, and boom, the whole damn roadway's on fire. And I'm thinking, now, there goes my investment. But I tell you, there's a bright side to this. All that heat, it must have heated the air up and stuff like that, because you could see those flames just rising like 50 feet in the air, and those cardinals are like flying around, their wings are on fire, it's something like out of Guadalcanal, and I'm thinking, man, this is pretty cool. And then I hear a little rustling behind me, and it was like the Santa Ana wind was being blown in as that hot air was going up, and son of a gun, if I didn't look, and here's that rolling paper of mine just blowing along the pavement. As soon as I reach down, it like leaps right up into my hand. And I'm thinking, this is really environmentally sound. I did not even have to expend any of my own energy to walk back and get that rolling paper. It came to me, and they talk about wind energy. That was wind energy. So I felt really good about myself for the rest of the trip. I still only got 8 miles to the gallon, but I'm thinking, I did my part. Yes, I lost a little bit of investment, but it was really, looking back, it was a pretty good time. Good sights and everything like that. So, next time you're in North Dakota, I'd advise you to pick up some biodiesel.